Hello, my lovelies, and welcome to the Spirit Tarot YouTube channel. If you are new, welcome back. If you are a returning viewer, I'm Rin, and this video is going to be a first look at a walkthrough of the Garbage Pail Kids Tarot deck. Now, this is an Inside Editions deck, and I know that a lot of us are jaded by that company. We don't have very high expectations when it comes to the decks that they are putting out. Most of us consider a vast majority of the decks they are putting out just money grabs. And we talked about that in my Hocus Pocus walkthrough review. This deck, I had some higher hopes for than usual with Inside Editions because of some preview things I saw. So I was very excited to pre-order it. I just want to apologize. I did not have time to do my nails before doing this video, and I usually make sure to do my nails before I do videos because you see my hands. But it is back to school season as I am filming this, and my youngest school is just giving me fits. It's taking up a lot of my time trying to deal with some stuff for him, getting him back to school. And this is the only time I have to do this video, so I just kind of had to do it now or never because I wanted this video to come out on the release day of the deck, so I just have to go with it. So I apologize for the fact that my nail polish is all chipped. Please don't judge me. So anyhow, Garbage Pail Kids, it comes in a very nice sturdy box, just like all of the Inside Edition decks. I will say one of the things that Inside Editions does right, in my opinion, is the decks, the boxes. I feel that those are usually very good quality, at least all the ones that I have purchased from Inside Editions. It comes with a pretty nice sized chunky guidebook, and unlike the Hocus Pocus guidebook, they actually have the elemental correspondences correct in this particular deck. In Hocus Pocus, they switched up the they just switched up the suits and the elements in a very weird way, but then kept the meanings of the cards the same. This one, they actually keep the elemental associations for the suits to the traditional, which is very good. Each card has a full color picture and then a little blurb on the side. And in the book, because it doesn't tell you on the cards themselves, but in the book, it does give you the name of the Garbage Pail Kid character. Now, I was super excited about this deck because Garbage Pail Kids came out. Oh, and it does tell you, let's see if I can find one, characters that are new for this tarot deck. It does have a little thing marking that those are new characters, not from the original decks. I was a kid when the original decks came out, and I absolutely loved them. And my father being ultra conservative, I was not technically allowed to have any of the Garbage Pail Kid cards, but my mother sometimes would sneak and buy me a pack, and then I had to keep them hidden away in my sock drawer so that my father didn't find them. But each minor has, you can see that it's a full page of the card for the majors. Each minor has a little color representation of the card, and then it has the upright and the reversed meanings, which is very nice. There are a couple of different spreads in the back of the book. Some of them actually I think could be quite useful if you use spreads, if you have questions on these particular topics. One's about insight, get inspired. There's brew success. What was the first one called? Find your way with potato chip. So there's a couple of useful spreads in the back of the deck. Now, you may have already noticed as I flipped through the guidebook that this time one of our biggest complaints with Inside Editions is that the minors are just pips. This time, the minors are not just pips. So I'm super excited about that, but I have to say, let me move this to the center. I have to say I have flipped through the deck just once. And my first impressions are, I don't know if I can use this deck or connect with it at all. And this seems to be a lot of my problem with the Inside Edition decks that I have. I have several decks, and I may do a video just on the Inside Edition decks and talk about why people love them and hate them, just because I think that it is an interesting topic, and I don't think that people now are starting to realize what to expect from an Inside Edition deck. But if you haven't had experience with any of them, a lot of people, not knowing what they are very disappointed when they actually purchase them. Even though this one is fully illustrated, it's not a pip deck like the other Inside Edition decks. My first thoughts and feelings are, I don't know that I could ever read with this deck. I do not know that I could connect with it. I'm sure I could use it for the yes/no questions the way I do them, but beyond that, I don't know if I can read with this deck, which is very disappointing to me. The Hocus Pocus deck, even though it's pips, I'm sure that I will use it for spooky season, for readings, but I don't know, even though this one is fully illustrated, they've solved the issue that we've asked them to solve repeatedly. I don't know if I can connect with this deck. Time will tell. I like the artwork. As an art deck, I love it. As a reading deck, I'm going to have to give it a few goes and see if I can connect with it on that level. But this is not a deck that I pulled out of the box and went, I can't wait to read with this. This was a deck that I pulled out, looked at the art, was like, oh, I love the artwork. I don't see me reading with this deck. So those are my thoughts on it. At least it has the improvements of things we have complained about with previous Inside Edition decks. But I don't know, as much as I love Garbage Pail Kids, as much as I want to love this deck and have this as one of my main decks, I don't know if I can actually do like full readings with this deck. Time is going to tell. I do love the backs. The backs of the cards are amazing. Now, there are meanings for reversals in here, but if you look at this, clearly these are not reversible backs. That bothers some people. Other people don't care. I personally don't read with reversals, so it's a non-issue for myself. But without any further ado, let's dive into the deck.